Everyone in crypto is watching the Bitcoin dominance chart waiting for it to break down. But I had this thought this morning, what if we actually don't see a breakdown in the Bitcoin dominance chart in the same way everyone is expecting it to? One of the many reasons being is that 1% of Bitcoin holders own 99% of the supply, and they are pretty much diamond hand holders. There's a lot more facets that go into it than that, but today I want to share with you what I am posting in my Patreon. There's a link in the description below. If you find this beneficial, you should join the Patreon. This is the chart everyone's looking at. Bitcoin dominance, waiting for it to break down so that we can have that explosive altcoin season. But I think that it's going to be a little bit of a disappointment this year, and here's why. I know everyone's looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart. When that breaks to the downside, that ultimately means that money is rushing out of Bitcoin and into altcoins. That said, I don't think this cycle will be as explosive as previous cycles when it comes to the breakdown of the Bitcoin dominance chart. Key thought that I had this morning, which led me on this extensive journey where I'm going to share with you a lot of valuable content. I hope the BTC.d breakdown is massive. That said, most Bitcoin at this point are held by diamond hand investors. These small institutions or large institutions hold 99% of the circulating supply. So 1% of investors in Bitcoin own 99%. I have segmented this tangent into two different understandings. Number one, what causes BTC.d to break down? And number two, why the breakdown might not be that severe. And number three, the thought that comes out of this is, can we still have a massive altcoin rally if the Bitcoin dominance doesn't actually break down as much as people think it will? So number one, what leads to the breakdown in Bitcoin BTC.d? Obviously, capital rotation, new money flowing into altcoins, existing Bitcoin funds shifting. Relative performance. If altcoins outperform Bitcoin in price appreciation, even without substantial selling of Bitcoin, the BTC.d will still decline. That being said, in order for those to happen, we need a lot of new money to enter into the market rather than money rotating within the existing market. Increase in new altcoin projects, obviously emergence of popular new altcoins with large market caps during DeFi rallies, meme coins, that can increase the total market cap. But again, we need to understand, is there a lot of new money coming into crypto or is money rotating through? And that's why we jump over to the total market cap chart, which we'll do in a little bit, which is honestly stalling at its previous all-time high. We haven't had a breakout in the total market cap at all. So the increase of money coming into crypto right now isn't really, we haven't had a breakout. We don't have a whole bunch of new money coming in. We're kind of stuck right now with the existing money that's in all of the market caps. So we got increase in new altcoin projects, stablecoin market growth, decline in Bitcoin price. So understanding BTC.d requires monitoring the broader market sentiment. A rising BTC.d often signals a flight to Bitcoin as a safe haven, while the falling BTC.d indicates a higher risk on altcoin speculation. Topic 2, why the Bitcoin dominance breakdown may not be that severe. It's realistic to speculate that Bitcoin dominance may not experience as sharp a breakdown this cycle as previous cycles, partly due to the distribution of Bitcoin supply among diamond hand long-term holders. This is what I was saying. This is what I was thinking about when I woke up this morning, configuring and working through to give this information to my Patreon members. But let's continue. Supply concentration and holding behavior. 1% of Bitcoin holders control pretty much the entire supply, and these people are long-term holders. They're not selling. Michael Saylor is still buying at $75,000, and he's issuing a few $1 billion to buy more. Never sell. This behavior reduces liquidity available for trading or rotation into altcoins, potentially stabilizing Bitcoin's price and dominance during speculative market phases. Number 2, institutional influence. The increasing involvement of institutions, ETF, and large players adds the diamond hands narrative. Institutions tend to hold on to Bitcoin longer. All right, we just talked on that. This could lead to a more stable BTC.d compared to past cycles when altcoins boom because Bitcoin is being sold off and breaking down. Macro adoption trends. Bitcoin is increasingly viewed as digital gold or a hedge against inflation, solidifying its position in the crypto market's backbone. And these institutions, these countries, these states are purchasing it for the long run. So let's go into resilience of market speculation. While speculative mania drives altcoin seasons, Bitcoin dominance could remain relatively stronger if altcoins face regulatory scrutiny. Bitcoin ETFs capture a large share of investment capital compared to altcoins. Stablecoins or other non-altcoin sectors, tokenized real-world assets, dilute the market cap instead of altcoins siphoning the dominance of Bitcoin. So counter arguments, and I've got a lot more to go into after this. Despite concentrating holdings, BTC.d breakdowns could still occur if altcoins demonstrate stronger innovation, higher returns, or adoption emerging cases like AI, DeFi, and gaming. If capital rotation into altcoins accelerates due to risk appetite or new narratives, Bitcoin's dominance might decline, even if a diamond hand holder doesn't sell. While it's plausible that BTC breakdown this cycle might be less dramatic due to concentrated holdings and stronger institutional presence, and that presence still rushing in right now to purchase Bitcoin, and how many of those people that have the Bitcoin are going to sell and exit into alts right now, it's looking very slim because of the 1% that holds them. Evolving trends in altcoin adoption could still lead to significant fluctuations. Now what I want to do is I want to pivot into the total market cap because this includes everything. This chart right here is the total market cap, and as you can tell, we are pretty much at the all-time high, $3 trillion, meaning that's all the money that is in the cryptocurrency market. For the total market cap to increase, we need new money to rush into crypto. And right now, what is the big selling event? What is the big marketed thing that gets people into it? It is Bitcoin. It is the frenzy, the FOMO that institutions, countries, states, retail investors are having. That's kind of what's driving money into this market. And those people are going into Bitcoin. How many of them will turn into those diamond hand investors versus how many of them might just get dumped on? I do not know. How many of the people that have already bought Bitcoin in the bear market, down here when it was $17,000, wrote it up here, how many of them are actually going to be exiting their positions or holding it for dear life and all eternity? Well, not a lot of people are actually going to be selling their Bitcoin. So we have 2 or 3 ideas that we need to work through here. Number one is how much new money is actually going to come into cryptocurrency this bull run. I do believe history repeats itself. FOMO is hitting the streets. When Bitcoin goes above $100,000, that's going to be one of the greatest marketing catalysts. You're going to see countries, nations, institutions, wealthy retail investors FOMOing in, moving money into the ecosystem. That being said, they're probably going to get wrecked because some rotation will take place. Let's take a look at 2 other interesting charts. Right now, the others.d dominance is not really climbing whatsoever. Okay, this is kind of the inverse of the Bitcoin dominance. It's still down here in the great accumulation zone. But when we pivot over here to how the total 3 market is actually performing, if we were to fall within this range, which we've respected for many, many years, that gives pretty much the total 3, everything except for Bitcoin and Ethereum, about 415% of total growth, of which we have done about 50% so far without any increase in the others dominance. So what that kind of tells me and reveals is that the growth that we've had in the total 3 is kind of just internal rotation or maybe a little bit of new money coming in, but we're still hiking pretty aggressively without the others dominance increasing, without the Bitcoin dominance decreasing. When the Bitcoin dominance does increase, we will see this spike. We thought the last month was pretty good for crypto. This will spike. This might even do that same exact thing within a few days. So we are entering, when you look at this 50% out of this 400% range, we are starting to enter into, on the bell curve, maybe that taller level of maturity in the market. We do need some breakdown to happen to bring us further up, but the market is starting to mature, especially in the total 3, the others. It's starting to mature regardless of the Bitcoin breakdown. Currently, this cycle isn't all that different though. In previous cycles, we have Bitcoin begin to skyrocket, people FOMO in, and then money rotates. The bigger difference in this case is that we have a lot of institutional FOMOing into Bitcoin, and who knows if they will also pivot into altcoins eventually. I would like to see that. And as for capital rotation, whether that rotation is just new money coming into the entire market and people buying altcoins, or if it's just the recirculation and recirculation of existing money. Solana's gone up to multiple billions of dollars. Same with Doge, same with Sui, same with Aptos. A lot of these projects, people are just going to be taking profits, rotating it down the ladder. So how much of this is actually going to affect the Bitcoin dominance breakdown? Well, I do believe that the Bitcoin dominance breakdown will happen at some point. That being said, I am starting to lean towards the idea that it might not be as volatile or explosive of a collapse that we've seen in previous years. Because when you go back 4 years ago to the other Bitcoin halving event and bull run that we took place, or the other one, most of that was still retail. This cycle is largely institutional. This is an ETF cycle. This is countries, nations. These are big money. 1% holds 99% of the supply. Those are diamond hand investors. I don't think that we're going to see the retail recycling, recirculation of money out of Bitcoin and into altcoins as aggressively as we have in the past. That being said, we are about to see a blue sky breakout for the total market cap. I do expect a lot more money to come flowing in, especially if we have a catalyst like Trump is supposing, which is no taxes on US made cryptocurrencies, things of that nature. I'm in the camp to say that we're going to have a tremendous amount of money still come into the entire cryptocurrency market. And I am in the camp, despite everything that I've said, to still think that the Bitcoin dominance will break down. I just don't know what's going to cause the altcoin others dominance to increase drastically making the Bitcoin dominance break down without a whole lot of new money entering in specifically only to altcoins rather than Bitcoin. That's what I'm trying to figure out. And if anything, I just hope that this video creates a little thought in your mind that, this cycle is very different. It's probably going to be much bigger than all the other cycles. We'll still make tremendous amounts of life-changing gains in altcoins and others. But there's part of me that's wondering what's going to create the actual Bitcoin dominance breakdown out of all the lists that we just spoke about a few minutes earlier. Let me know your thoughts. Please like and subscribe. Feel free to check out the Patreon in the description below. If you don't have a Tangent wallet, you can also grab Tangent wallet. It's probably the most affordable, easy to use cryptocurrency wallet. There's a link in my description below as well. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.